సీఎం కేసీఆర్ నాయకత్వంలో పోరాడి సాధించుకున్న తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రాన్ని అనతి కాలంలోనే అన్ని రంగాల్లో అభివృద్ధి చేశామని MLC కల్వకుంట్ల కవిత తెలిపారు. దీంతో భారతదేశానికి తెలంగాణ అభివృద్ధి మోడల్ దిక్సూచిగా నిలిచిందని చెప్పారు. సీఎం కేసీఆర్ను కవిత అభినవ చాణక్యగా అభివర్ణించారు. అభివృద్ధి సంక్షేమానికి బీఆర్ఎస్ ప్రభుత్వం సమప్రాధాన్యం ఇస్తోందని తెలిపారు. స్వరాష్ట్రంలో సాగు తాగునీటితో పాటు విద్యుత్ సమస్యను అధిగమించామన్నారు. 2014-15 నుంచి 2022-23 మధ్య కాలంలో జీడీపీ 118.2% పెరగగా సీఎం కేసీఆర్ చేపట్టిన సంస్కరణల ఫలితంగా తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర స్థూల ఉత్పత్తి 155.7% పెరిగిందని కవిత తెలిపారు. లండన్లోని ఆక్స్ఫర్డ్ యూనివర్సిటీలో తెలంగాణ మోడల్పై కవిత కీలకోపన్యాసం చేశారు.
Very happy to be here, and when I am here abroad, I believe I not only represent my state, but I represent the country. And India, which has a very, very rich history of cradling a lot of luminaries, from Lord Buddha to Jyotiba Phule to Dr. Ambedkar to Rabindranath Tagore to Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, Mahatma Gandhi. So when we think about all these great people that our nation has produced, really feel proud to be representing India here. Very happy, that we are able to continue the legacy of both that enlightenment and that innovation that our luminaries have given us. I just hope we can walk on their path and make them proud. And when we think about the luminaries from India, we cannot but ignore Chanakya. His policies, his theory is known as Chanakya Niti, who spoke of governance for the welfare of the people and society. Sometimes it's used in a negative connotation, but when taken in a right sense, it speaks about the welfare of the people and society. And especially his Ardhashastra, that provides timeless insights into the responsibilities of a statesman, a guidepost, I think, that echoes in the visionary leadership of our Telangana Chief Minister, Chandrasekhar also. We call him KCR very fondly. So here on, I'll refer to him as KCR. Although the state was formed in 2014 in June 2nd, it was a 5-decade-long fight. In 2001, Honorable KCR had given a proposal to the people of Telangana that why don't we fight in a very peaceful but a political battle to make sure the statehood is achieved. People have blessed him, people have stood with him, and we fought under his leadership from 2001. So KCR had to come out, then go on to the fast until death. In 2009, then the announcement of Telangana had happened. Well, the separate statehood movement was full of flip-flops. From 2009 until 14 also, we were constantly seeing this turmoil happening. But finally, in 2014, June 2nd, the state was formed. So this is exactly 9.5 years back. And when we look back in 9.5 years, how was Telangana? In 2014, the story was out of 10 districts of the state, 9 were declared backward by the central government. 2 districts, Khammam and Mahbubnagar, were categorized as the most hungry in the country. And the agriculture and allied sector, which supported around 46% of the population of the state, it was under severe distress, and the farmer suicides were number 2 in the country. It was very unfortunate, but that was the state of affairs. And we were a severely power distressed state. The shortage of power was around 2,700 megawatts, which ultimately led to a power cut of about 4 to 8 hours across the state. And that resulted in industries being shut at least for 2 days in a week, so they could operate in shifts. And neither we had adequate surface water for irrigation, nor did we have enough water for the drinking water. Also, of course, when your whole 9 districts are backward, revenue of the state was in shambles. So that was the situation in 2014, and that was the situation in which we inherited the state. But then what did we do? How did we change that situation from being a power deficit state, from being a state which had no drinking water, from being a state which had no irrigation water, now to a power surplus state, now to a state where we are number 2 in paddy production? How did that transformation happen? And that is the story I am here to share with all of you. And the leader, KCR, he was an agitator. He was constantly agitating for the state. He has a very sharp wit and a sharp tongue. So he never spared anybody. during the agitation. So people did have this fear that what will happen once the Telangana state is formed? How will the rest of the Hyderabad, rest of the people will be taken care of? But what I have seen for any society to transform, the prerequisite is that the leader of that state should understand how to convert his negativities into positivities. And I've seen that change happening in my own leader. Overnight, from an agitator, he became an administrator. He made a statement saying, everybody is equal to me. He stopped using sharp words. He worked in silence. He worked with strategy, which he was always known for. And he worked with commitment and dedication. Government spending, both in investing in infrastructure and also welfare, I think that took the state to the next level. So when we talk about the growth of Telangana in the last 9.5 years, the average of Indian GDP, when you look at all the 9 years, is 118.2% in the last 10 years, from 2014-15 to 2022-23. Whereas the Telangana's average is 155.7%. That's the increase of GSDP. So we always grew over the national average in the last 10%. So our contribution of Telangana state to the central's GDP grew from 4.1% in 2014 to 4.9% now in 22-23. But then the population was constant. It's 2.9 since 2014 till date. So that being constant, this contribution to GDP is the actual wealth or the contribution of my state to the country. Well, other than that, of course, economists take seriously the per capita income of any nation or state. So in 2014-15, we were at 1,12,162. Now, this year, we are at 3,17,115. So we have literally doubled the per capita income of our people. And this is in less than 10 years. But then see, per capita income also at times can be deceiving, because growth could be stagnated in few people's hands and not everybody probably gets a benefit of the growth. So there is a concept called as Gini coefficient. The lower it is, the better it is for the people. The lower it is, that means everybody gets enough share of the income. I'm very proud to tell you that my state, Telangana, ranks #1 amongst all states in terms of equitable income distribution. And our Gini coefficient is 0.10, which is literally on par with the Nordic nations or even better than most of them. So this is the thing that makes us all happy. The poorest of the poor is getting the benefit.